Hello, everybody. My name is Gayla Kilgar. I'm speaking to you today from Aotearoa, New Zealand. I am really excited to tell everybody about our listening and sharing in session for 2025. It'll be held on the 7th of November, and we invite countries from throughout the world and anybody to listen in to our session. So the session this year is called Moving into Adulthood, Finding and Navigating Support Pathways. And the IACD is really excited to bring this to you, and it's through the Global Professional Education Committee. So I'm really excited to talk about the topic, and I'm wondering if our special guest today can tell me about themselves and what they think about this topic in terms of what they're doing.
Thank you for the invitation. I'm Agnies van Eeghan. I'm an intellectual disability physician. It's called ID physician from the Netherlands, from Amsterdam. I take care of children and adults with rare genetic conditions, also always associated with intellectual disabilities. As such, I'm actually quite lucky that I can see also young people in the transitional age phase, so between 15 and 25, and that's really the age phase that the problems also in my consultations are the most complex. Even with ID physicians like me, it's the only one profession in Holland that we have in Holland. It's not available anywhere else. I can take care of the physical conditions, which can worsen or change sometimes in the age phase, but also just like in the regular population, mental health conditions like anxieties or depressive disorders also occur more in individuals with intellectual disabilities. They are at higher risk for psychiatric disorders as well. Of course, the context for someone with intellectual disabilities changes a lot, as inherent to having a disability, it means you need a lot of support in multiple life domains. So not only from doctors, or maybe even least of all doctors, but also, of course, in life, in work, in friendship and romance. So there's a lot of transitions taking place, and it's very difficult for these individuals, of course, with their learning disabilities, but of course also for their parents to navigate this very complex world. So parents and individuals themselves are super stressed in these times. And being stressed is not very helpful for being able to adapt and change to new situations. So it's a very complex time for everybody.
Wow, that is amazing. I've never heard of an intellectual disability physician. So, wow, how many people are there in the Netherlands that take that
Well, there
role?
are about 200 only, and it's of course it's much more than anywhere else, and we're just very lucky, and we know the parents are just very happy, and also our pediatrician colleagues are just very happy we're there to be able to transfer someone to help coordinate care also through adulthood. So I think it's a very nice development, but still there is a shortage of ID physicians. So even we are overburdened. We're not available in all regions of Holland. And especially also the mental health aspects are very difficult also to diagnose and treat properly in this age phase. So it's still a lot of work to be done, but I guess this is a nice first step to have. Yeah.
Mm. And
Yeah.
it's a really lovely role to share with our international audience because some of the things that we'll be discussing are about obviously the child and family or young person and family level, but also about organizational and policy level. So
Right. Right.
Netherlands is leading the way and having this role because this idea of moving into adulthood, sometimes there aren't any roles that transfer or
Mhm.
transition the young people well. So yeah, that's so exciting to hear that role exists. I'm sure
Right.
people will be
Right.
pleased to hear about that. So
Mhm.
we're running our listening and sharing sessions that are global. And if people were coming to listen to a session in Netherlands or you were wanting to hear about other sessions, what do you think would be interesting for people to consider for this transition period?
Well, I think it is important that it's good to keep on talking about it, and there are increasing guidelines available on national levels. In Holland, we have a really nice guideline now, but also internationally there are more guidelines. And recently, we also developed a guideline specifically for individuals with intellectual disabilities through the European Reference Network (ITACA). It will be published online soon. However, guidelines can be very frustrating if you know what to do, but the context is not available for you to do the right thing. So we are very aware that it takes people on the ground to really make this work. But we hope such a guideline will really help raising awareness with parents themselves, with doctors, with psychologists, but also the leaders and funders to be able to look at these guidelines. So it allows us to say what we need to have to do this properly together and to keep on talking about it. So that will help a little bit, I hope.
That's. I mean, it's interesting that this is like a whole European project, is it, to gather these
Yeah,
guidelines?
yeah.
Yeah, amazing. And
Yeah.
so, where will that be available, just so that people know? Is there a
Well, it's now
website or?
mid-September. The publication was just accepted, so that will be online within a couple of weeks, and it will be also found online, ERN Ithaca, if you ERNEITHACA, if you Google that, hopefully you can find it online as well, and that will also include some lay materials to for people to print out and bring to their doctors and to raise awareness in their own countries about this important theme. Yeah.
Okay, that's awesome. Well, I think that's a really great thing to start our discussion with, because lots of people won't even know about those guidelines. So that's really
All right.
nice to share with people. And were they co-developed with families and young people and health professionals, educators? Is that how they were developed?
Well, it's really nice that you ask, and of course, within our organization, we also always try to co-develop also with patients and parents, and certainly parents and representatives of patient organizations were involved from many countries. We have also in the European reference networks EPACs, so groups who look at our documents. We had surveys throughout Europe to ask about experiences, but I must say it was very difficult to get really the voice of individuals themselves into this. So in the next guideline, we would have to put more effort into that. Of course, it's time and of course it's expensive, but we try to get individuals themselves as often involved as possible. But certainly a lot of parents on all type of different experts and professionals. Yes. Yeah.
Oh, that sounds fantastic. Well, thank you so much for that work. That's incredible. And
Mm.
for sharing that, because I think that can be a really important discussion point for people that are hosting sessions or wanting to have more resources. So thank you. That's awesome.
Yeah.
We look forward to having a session this year in the Netherlands too. So very excited about that. And thanks for joining us today.
All right. Thank you very much, and good luck, everybody.
Thank you.